Hey there. So we're starting our project on the phases of the moon, and today we're going to use a computer program called Stellarium to get a better idea of how the phases of the moon change. So I'm just going to give you a little walkthrough of some of the basic features of Stellarium so you can get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is go over to this location window here and make sure we are in Missoula. If you're not, if your computer does not have you in Missoula right now, just search for it. And there it is. So you click on that, make sure you're here in Missoula. And the next thing we're going to want to do is pull up our date and time window. And then just put that in a convenient location somewhere below horizon. So right now it's October 18th in the late morning here, 10 o'clock. And so that's what we're seeing in the sky here as the sun is pretty low on the horizon. Alright, so why don't we next take a look at our sky and viewing options. So there's a few different menus here. First, let's look at the sky, and something that might be helpful here, which I would suggest for you folks, is to click on Scale Moon. So that's just going to make the moon a little bit larger relative to everything else in the sky, so that you can see it and its phase a little bit better. That might be helpful. There's a lot of other really cool options here, but they might just sort of jumble up the screen at this point. So you can play around with those later as the year goes on. Another thing that could be helpful is this horizon option here. I'd suggest that. Other things you can click on, feel free to try them, see what they look like. You can also see constellations if you're ever interested in things like that. Something you can explore as time goes on. So I think we're done with this menu here. So let's take a look at the bottom menu, and you can access these just by dragging your cursor over the top of them. You've got some constellation options here, some grid options. Why don't we turn on a grid so we've got some markers in the sky. We can see where the moon is when we're looking at it. And then a couple other things here. So this is the ground. Right now you can see the ground. And what if we turn that off? You'll notice that the ground goes away, and now we can see what's on the other side, what we normally can't see through the ground. So anything below horizon we would be able to see here. So that's something to think about. We can turn on our cardinal directions, south, west, got east over here, and you can move around the screen just by clicking and dragging, and you can zoom in and out with the two-finger pull and push. So there we are. So why don't we make this nighttime? You can always change the date like this. You can change the month, year, all of that. And why don't we make this nighttime? So how about 8 o'clock? And there's the moon there, and you notice that it's pretty large in the sky. You can see its phase. And another thing that you can, if you click on it, gives you a lot of information on the moon here, including how much of it is illuminated. So you can see only 31.6% is illuminated in the moon right now. Something to think about as you're learning about the phase. And another cool feature is, as you notice, I clicked on it there. You got this center on selected object. So now the moon is in the middle of the page or your screen there, and as the hour changes, as time moves along, the moon always stays in the middle. As you go to a different date, the moon's always in the middle there. You'll notice that if don't have the moon selected with that feature, then as the days go by, the moon goes out of view. So that's just something to think about. So one last thing I want to show you is you can either pause time. So right now it's 8:12 and it will stay 8:12, but you can change the date and it will always be 8:12. Or you can play time. And you notice here that the second hand starts to tick away. So you can speed that up. Now time's moving. Now time's really zipping by. And then, if you want, you can go even faster. So, just a pretty cool feature that you can play around with as you sort of delve into this program, and you can even move it faster than that. Not sure this will be all that helpful, kind of dizzying, but that's for you to use as you see fit. So that's just a little introduction to Stellarium, and hope you found it informative, and have fun with the project.